He was a flamboyant, extremely handsome, charming beyond words, human being, so talented. Everybody coming to any of the auditions for West Side Story were first eager to see Leonard Bernstein. They didn't know what Jerry Robbins looked like, or did they care? And Arthur Lawrence was not as... So Lenny led in the attraction and the awe and the nervousness about meeting him was all there. And we were told by Charlie Baker, there is a show that I think you're absolutely right for, and I'm going to send you in to the first auditions that Cheryl Crawford will be having. I want you to look gorgeous and young and innocent and beautiful. And so we walked into a long room, narrow. At the end of it was a mahogany desk, really stunning, and a woman in black, very, very coiffed, very beautiful. She was the judge, definitely. And in the jury, which was sitting over here, was a little love seat. And on it was Arthur Lawrence, Jerry Robbins, Leonard Bernstein in a cape. And he sat looking more beautiful than any of his 8x10 glossies. And I walked in. Peter Howard, the wonderful conductor and pianist, was my accompanist. And when I finished, he stood up and he took my hand. He didn't kiss it, but he said, "Miss Lawrence, that was lovely." He just charmed you right out of your skin. And well, that was before you heard his music. He just opened his mouth and said, "Hello, my darling," and you melted. You just melted. In Washington, D.C., the audience didn't know what to expect. And they were told it was Romeo and Juliet. All the publicity had said it was going to be more dancing than they had ever seen. And it was innovative, and it was all those things. But nobody expected them to kill three principals and call it a musical comedy. And Washington, D.C. sat like this for the first couple of numbers. And then America stopped the show. And they all got on board that rollers thing, and we just rode happy. They laughed at Krupke, they cried at the death scene, but the curtain came down and the lights came up, the curtain went up, and we looked at the audience, and they looked at us, and we looked back, and then as if Jerry Robbins told them, they leapt to their feet, standing, screaming, bravo, applauding, and stamping their feet. And I don't know how many times this did that, but I know that it was time enough for Lenny to walk from the back of the theater to the wings. And as the curtain stopped, he walked to me, put his arms around me, and we wept. We just cried. It was everything that we had hoped for, and I was so proud to be there. I've done many, many shows since where the collaborators just kill each other. They feed upon each other. And you're dealing with big egos. We all know that. And everybody has a way that they wanted to. Jerry's view was the one that survived and always superseded whomever was doing whatever. Lenny would come in and be playing the new music, and Jerry would stand behind him and just pounce on his shoulders. He was merciless, and Lenny would just, I don't know how he stood it, and somehow the next day he would come in with another beautiful section, the scherzo. We had so many versions of the scherzo. It was, we had A, B, C, D, E of every section. He just poured himself into you, and he conducted us in rehearsal one day in the quintet on a chair from the pit so we could see him. You never heard so many opera singers in your life. Robert! The little boys, who couldn't make a sound before was suddenly emitting because he inspired you to do. He somehow made you better.